Hello, I'm Paki Shrivastava, and today I'm joined with Miss Mangels, who is the principal of Carroll Middle School. And I'm going to ask her a couple of questions about emotional intelligence. Okay,
Great.
So the first question is, do you believe that peer pressure, bullying, stress, and anxiety are a problem in our schools?
I do. Problem is, I don't know about that word, but I think it is something that our kids deal with a lot. You know, some in more so in some areas than others. But even one case of bullying is too much. I know kids these days have a lot of pressure on them when it comes to academics. They want to do well. They participate in a lot of things outside of school. So they've got a very rigorous academic schedule here in CISD. And then they participate in a lot of activities after school. So they're scheduled out. They have a lot of things going on. And you know, to students in middle school, even somebody just ignoring them or not sitting with them at lunch or something is something that, you know, really creates a lot of stress, a lot of emotional stress. So even if it's not necessarily an outward act of bullying, kids are really affected by that. Social activity and social belonging and things are really, really important to kiddos at this age. And so it's really important for them to feel a part of something. So they have a lot of stuff on their plates these days, and so I think absolutely all of those are very important. They play a huge role in students' lives.
Yeah, and I believe like in middle school as well, it's kind of that age where you're just looking for like approval and you want to fit in and you're trying to figure out who you are, but at the same time trying to be someone else because you really don't know.
Absolutely. Yes, and that is all, it's a big part of it. It is trying to figure out where, you know, where do I belong, what is something that I'm, you know, where I can find a group of friends. That's why we try to offer a lot of electives and things so kiddos at this age can try some new things and see, oh, I'm really good at this, and maybe they make some friends there, whether it's band or athletics or art or theater arts or whatever. But it's middle school is a really tough age for everybody. Even those of us who are adults can remember back to our junior high and middle school days when it's just a real, just physically and everything, emotionally, socially, there's just a lot going on. So even under the best of circumstances, middle school kids have a lot to juggle. So those of us who are just true middle school lovers at heart are why we spend our careers doing this, because it is such a really important time for them.
Yeah, okay. The second question that I have is, what is your recommendation for our students and parents to help them deal with these problems?
Well, I think it's really important to educate our students on inclusion and, you know, helping students feel a part. Also educating our parents. You know, sometimes when I'm throughout the district, they have speakers that come in and talk to our parents, talk to our students. We do some of that bullying education and social education through our Dragon Den, our advisory classes, because a lot of times it's really, we don't have a huge number of just outright, you know, physical bullying issues around here. But again, at this age, just even the emotional things, or feeling like somebody was talking behind your back, or they looked at you wrong, or something like that. And so a lot of it is education on the part of our students, helping them understand when you do a certain thing, this is the way it may make the other person feel. How can you be a good friend to someone? How can you step in so that they don't feel left out? You know, we talk a lot, and we have kids that are awesome about getting up in the cafeteria and going over and sitting with, for example, a new student, or maybe someone who got a schedule change and now they're in a different lunch, and their friends that they normally eat with are not in that lunch. So our kiddos here are really good about including others, but I think a lot of it is just being aware, being willing to talk about it with our students, parents being willing to talk about it with their kiddos, and students being able to share with their teachers, like even through our Dragon Den activities, experiences that they've had, so that they can kind of, you know, talk about it and figure out ways that we can help, because we want everybody to feel happy and excited and safe. And that doesn't mean just physically safe, but emotionally and socially safe to come to school every day. And that's all part of it. You know, we're here to teach academics, but even more than that, we're here to help the whole child, you know. And I shouldn't call middle school children a child, but trying to help them, you know, kind of find their place and fit in so that they're excited about coming to school, because that's all part of the big package in addition to the academics.
Definitely. The last question that we have is, can you share a personal experience where you've seen a child with a higher EQ or someone who's been able to handle their emotions better benefit from that situation?
Okay, I'm understanding your question. Someone who had something happen to them who's better able to handle it, or help someone else? I'm not sure I really...
Well, it's like a person who you know is emotionally intelligent, who can handle their emotions, either go through a situation and come out of it better, or help a different person like overcome something, just something that you've seen in your school?
I have seen and see it on a regular basis, students who absolutely do step in to help others. And I'm not necessarily talking about a physical situation, but our students are very inclusive of others, and they are really good at helping them become a part. Every year we have new students, and not just at the beginning of the year, but throughout the year.
Yeah.
And we have our Stugo kids, or NJHS, our kiddos who will take these families around for tours and things like that. And so that's part of what they do for that. But we also have students who have really no required responsibility to do that, and yet they do a really good job of asking the student, what lunch do you have, or if they get down there to the cafeteria, they see students sitting by themselves. Those students who you see do that, it's clear that they do have a higher emotional intelligence. They get it, maybe because they've been through something in their lives, or maybe maybe not. Maybe they just learned from other friends or from their parents or whatever. But you can really tell the ones who have that empathy and really see what other kids are going through, what other students are going through, and they reach out to them just in small ways. Even as adults, when we go somewhere to a meeting, for example, and maybe we don't know anybody who's there, we too find ourselves, we're like, okay, who do I sit with, where do I sit, I don't know anybody here. And we have students who are very in tune to that and take that step forward to go help those kiddos. And it's amazing to see. It gives me goosebumps when I see that happen, because it clearly is something that they see, they notice, and they reach out to help that student. It's wonderful.
And that's, I feel like, what we want to see, and the goal of our club is to see that more and more in students and in our schools, because at the end of the day, that's our goal, to make Carroll ISD students feel more energized and inspired, and that's pretty much the goal of this whole project, is to first bring it to attention, and then start making more students feel that way, and make them, feel that they can make a change.
Absolutely. And that's so, we know the academics here are rigorous, and, at some point our kids are going to graduate from here, and they're going to go into college, and, all that kind of stuff. But at some point you get out of college, even if you go to graduate school, and you become an adult, and the way you feel about yourself and, the way you get along with that socialization piece at this age is so important, that it's not that we're, putting the academics aside, but as kids are developing through different stages of their life, that feeling of belonging and feeling like I matter to someone, I'm important, I have friends, all those kinds of things are so incredibly important. So I'm very excited about the club you've started up there, because that is so important, and parents and teachers agree to that as well. We know academics are important, but we want every student to feel safe, like I said, and to feel like that they matter.
Yeah.
And so this is a great thing. That's the emotional piece, social piece is critical for a student's upbringing. So.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming by today.
Thank you.